Hello, and welcome to my Communication Unlock series, where I'll be going over everything that I learned from looking out. It's basically just a book about communication, how to communicate with your friends, family, clients, coworkers, etc. Um, yeah, this was started out of boredom, I guess, just something to do. So if you want to follow along, thank you very much. If not, that's okay. Um, so let's get into it. As we should know by now, communication is an essential part of our survival. Like we need it for basically just everything in our day to day life. It's extremely important. Proper communication has always been an issue, just because it all depends on how we were raised and everything. But I think especially since the pandemic, it's gotten even worse because a lot of people are now having like more social anxiety and just overall difficulty communicating with others, especially with technology and everything. It's just like an extra barrier, I would say. Um, so yeah, everyone does not need the same amount of contact with others. Um, but regardless of all of that, quality communication is extremely important. And I think something that we should all consider is the fact that communicating with others can have both a positive and a negative impact on them and also on us. So it's important to try to ensure that we have positive communication with our peers and those around us. Studies also show that positive communication and relationships help to boost memory and intellectual functions. It lowers stress, among many other positive benefits. So I think it's good to just think about it that way. Try to like have more positive interaction with others and try to like just be transparent with each other. And yeah. So now I'm just gonna go over why we communicate. Honestly, this is kind of like basic information, but I'm just going over it. I'm just gonna go over everything through the book, probably weekly or so, because I'm gonna do it like chapter by chapter or topic by topic. Let's see. Communicate for our physical needs, where we get like positive health benefits um, through socializing. Communicate for our identity needs by interacting with our friends, family, and peers. We kind of get a sense of who we are, and we get to understand our culture as well, just by like interacting with others. Because I think, especially with the internet now, we see that a lot of the things that we do, you get to see that other people do it from different households, and you get to understand that it's actually a culture. Like this is a Jamaican thing or whatever the culture may be. And we also just get a sense of ourselves, like how compassionate we are, how much do we want to communicate with others, how social are we, type of thing. So yeah, I think by socializing we get to get a sense of ourselves. And also we communicate for social needs, to network with others, for companionship, for relaxation. We also communicate for practical to achieve practical goals. So we communicate to get what we want done. So for instance, you go to a restaurant, you communicate to say, hey, I want a slice of pizza. Or you go to the pharmacy to purchase a bottle of lotion, who knows? Or asking for someone to help you to lift a heavy box. Those are kind of like practical goals of why we communicate as well. We also communicate for cultural needs, which I think we went over in the first one. So, and just to dive deeper, it's kind of like to feel connected to others and to our culture. So something I learned when I was doing business in high school, and yeah, it was also in the book where it says like psychologist Abraham Maslow suggests that all these needs that I just listed, they fall into five categories or the hierarchy of needs. And each need needs to be met before we can move on to the other one. So like, and then we start with our physiological needs, which is like food, water, sleep, breathing, etc. Then we have safety, which is like security of employment, resources, morality, family, property, etc. And then social needs, which is like just feel a feeling of love and belonging. So, friendship, affection, etc. And then we have self-esteem, which is just being confident, being respected by others and respecting others. And then the one at the top is self-actualization, which is just um, realizing your full potential, in a sense, reaching that point where you desire to be the best version of yourself. That's just me breaking it down, but that's basically what it is. Um, and yeah, I hope you learned something from all of the rambling I just did. I'll definitely try to be more structured moving forward. Needless to say, we can always improve how we communicate with each other, which is what this series is about. It's just learning about improving our quality of communication with others. So, see you next time. Maybe, I don't know. Bye.